Hi, I'm at Vesterheim Museum and it's lunchtime and boy, am I hungry. So I'm looking around the museum's collection and I see lots of things that I could use to make a sandwich. So I thought today we'd have some fun and make some sandwiches. Well, not with any of these objects though. These happen to belong to the museum's collection, but I thought I'd show them to you first before we delve into making our sandwiches. Well, what do you need to make a sandwich? Bread, of course. So it's probably best to use some really strong bread. This is a wonderful doily or a cloth that you could put something on, but it says that you should have some strong bread. So we'll be looking at making some strong bread, or using some strong bread anyway today. To make that strong bread, we need to mix it. So I found this big mixer for mixing up the dough, and you would put the dough in here and turn the crank, and this is how you could mix up your bread dough. Well, we can't just have bread on our sandwiches. We need lots more. And in particular, we might want to have some butter. So I have my butter churn here, and this would be used to make butter. Now I'll be making butter and showing you how to make your own butter, but we could put some cream in here, and then we just spin and spin and spin and spin until eventually we come up with butter. And when we were finished, we could put it into a mold like this. This is a butter mold, or could also be used for cheese, but it's got these beautiful decorations on the inside, these carvings, and when you put the butter inside, you fold this up, and you put the butter inside here, it leaves an imprint or a design on the butter when you unfold it. And that makes it very lovely to sit on your table. Well, I like butter on my bread, but I also like more on my sandwich. And one thing that I like is cheese. So, indeed, hurrah for Jarlsberg, one of my favorite cheeses. And I'll be using that today to make my sandwich. Well, in Norway, people eat sandwiches, but one kind of sandwich that they eat is called smørbrød. And literally, that is butter and bread here. So smør is butter and brød is bread. So I'm going to make a smørbrød, or show you how to make one yourself. But first, you need some bread and you need some butter. So I thought it might be fun to show you how to make your own butter at home. So I have some heavy cream inside of this glass jar, and you can either locate heavy cream, sometimes you will find heavy whipping cream that will work as well. And you want to fill your jar, a glass jar, halfway full, and make sure you have a really tight lid. Now the way that you make butter is just by agitating or moving this liquid around. So you'll just shake like this, and shake and shake and shake and shake. Quite a long time until you'll get solids like I have in here. And I've put some of these solids, this butter, right inside of here. So we'll use that to make our sandwich today. Well, a smørbrød is an open-faced sandwich, and it can be quite fancy or quite simple, however you would like to make it. So let me show you how to make that. First, you want a good piece of hearty bread. So I have some hearty oatmeal bread here that I'm using today. And I want to put a layer of butter. So I've got my butter and my spatula here. I'm going to butter my bread. That looks really good. A little bit more. Okay. Now, smørbrød can have a variety of different kinds of sort of toppings or spreads, and I happen to like some strawberry jam on mine, and that might sound a little strange, but trust me, it does taste good. So I have some homemade strawberry jam here, and actually it's jelly. And I'm spreading that on the bread. So you can see I've got 2 layers of goodness on here. Now, for smørbrød, you can do all kinds of creative things with your buttered bread. So I have some jam or jelly on it, and now I want to put some cheese on it. And 2 Norwegian cheeses that I like are Geitost, which is some goat cheese, and some Jarlsberg, which is kind of a Swiss cheese. And I have my osthovel here, which is my cheese plane, and I'll use that to slice or to cut this cheese to put onto my sandwich. So it works a little bit like this. Just hold it, and you can see that you can get very, very thin slices of cheese. So I'll just put a couple of pieces of the Geitost on my sandwich, and maybe a couple of pieces of the Jarlsberg on there as well. So, all right, so I've got those on there. I'll set this aside. Now comes a fun part. You can decorate this if you would like to have some meat on it. I've got some thinly sliced turkey. I will put some on here. And now I'm going to decorate this with some lettuce. Here, make it look very nice. I've got cucumbers. So I can make this sandwich very beautiful, and I can also make it very healthy. And I have some thinly sliced peppers that I'm going to decorate the top with. Maybe one more. All right. And this is my beautiful open-faced sandwich, or smørbrød. Well, now that I've shown you how to make a smørbrød that you could actually eat, now let's make a smørbrød just for fun, one that's super creative and one that you can make out of recyclables or extra art supplies that you have lying around. Well, first you're going to need a piece of bread, and you can make that using some very thin cardboard. So I've just taken apart this cracker box, and you can see the inside is brown, very much like a piece of bread. And it's very thin, so it's easy to cut. Now you can trace a example of a piece of bread. We have this available attached to the video. So if you need a template, here's one. Or you could just freehand it like I did here. And I made sort of a bread shape out of the cardboard. So this is my base cardboard here. And I'm just going to set that down. And now I've gathered some supplies, some leftover art supplies that I've had for other projects. And I went through the recycling to see what interesting things I could find to make some toppings for my smørbrød, my piece of bread here. So the first thing that I found were some leftover feathers. And I think these would be great to use as either butter or perhaps as some cheese. So I'm just going to glue these pieces to my bread to make a sort of fancy sandwich here. So I will just put a little glue down, and you can use white glue or stick glue like I'm using here. Woo! Lots of feathers all over, but I will just put the feathers down so they kind of look like butter or like cheese, like this. All right. Now on my other sandwich that I made, my actual sandwich, you might have seen I had some peppers on there. I think I'd kind of like something to represent those. So I have some strips of paper that are left over from another art project, and maybe I'll just decorate or put those on my sandwich as well. Just putting a little glue on the back of those, and I'll just sort of stick those on there. Okay. In the recycling today, we had some milk caps, and these could be all kinds of different things. Maybe you're making a sandwich with some fruit on it, so maybe this is like a piece of fruit, or maybe you're making a sandwich with like some sausage on it. So I'm going to pretend like these are little bits of sausage, and I'm going to stick those onto my sandwich here. Oops, a little bit more glue. Okay. And I also found some tin foil. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what this could be, but I found it in my recycling, so I'm just gonna plop that maybe in the center here of my sandwich. And you can see that I have made a somewhat messy but kind of creative or decorative sandwich here. And you could make one too. Thanks for joining me for Barnetimen. If you made a smørrebrød, tell us how it went in the comments below.